All right, two big upgrades today. First, the AI writing assistant that edits right inside the editor with preview and control. Second, the AI content optimizer scores and guides you in real time using competitor plus AI search sources. Let's start with the AI writing assistant. Now, this is not a separate app. You select text, pick an action, and preview the result before you accept it. So let me pick some text. Let me find some paragraphs. You can see how everything is pretty well broken up already in this article draft that I just created. Let's see. This paragraph seems like it has a list of things that could be better organized, could be better written. So let's go ahead and select the text. We have some options here when you select the text. We have optimize, simplify, expand, shorten, and fix grammar. And we do have also this input field for custom instructions. So you can write in whatever you want and press go. Now, when do you use each of these? I use simplify when the paragraph, the selected text, feels dense or it has too many moving parts to it. So it makes it hard to understand. Then I use expand when I need another example or when the text feels thin and I want to fill it out a little bit more and add more detail. For shorten, when the text feels like it's rambling and I want to make it tighter, that's when I use shorten to make it more concise. And of course, grammar, correct any grammar mistakes when if I'm writing really quick and it sounds right, it looks right, but there's something off about it as well. This is when I'll pass it through fixed grammar. But for this one, I can take a look at it and I can already see that there's a list of things essentially in this industry benchmarks indicating content production and the list of things that content production occurs in. Let's go ahead and let's try simplify. Let's see what it does. All you need to do is press the button and it'll go through the generation and then spit out something different, right? So we have the original on the left, and on the right, we have the cleaned up version, the simplified version. So we can see this is how I envisioned it because it was just a list here. This is great. You can see the sources here that they brought out the actual source instead of having the source here. Now you can change it back to source if you prefer that way of attribution or if you want to use the actual name of the source. And I'll show you how to do that really quick. So if you accept it, go ahead and click accept. If you don't like it and change your mind about editing that paragraph, go ahead and click reject. And if you want another version, go ahead and click this icon here to regenerate another version. All right, but it looks good to me. I'm going to click accept. And let's say I liked the way the attribution was done before with the parentheses. I want that version again. Let's say, okay. So I want to change these anchor texts back to source. Go ahead and just highlight it. You can see the edit link here, right? But you don't even need to do that. You just need to highlight it and replace it with source. And then I think there was a comma. And then, again, we'll just type in source. And then just delete these extras. All right. And that's all there is. It's really quick and really simple with the AI writing assistant. So let's take another paragraph. Let's say I want to expand it, do a little bit more, take a look at it. I want a little more context here, maybe. Okay, great. Lots of additional information. Even breaks it up into bullet lists, number lists, everything to make it really easy to read and digest. So there's a lot here. Perfect. What I'm going to do is reject it though, because I want to show you the others. So let's try to find a larger body of text and see if we can shorten it. Let's go ahead and do this. Why don't I combine this into one big paragraph, the intro. Let's see what it does. Okay, so it took that one big body of text and it actually broke it up into 3 separate paragraphs. Very cool. It didn't do much changing, but it did shorten it. This is shorter than the original. Okay, let's fix any grammar. Didn't really do much, but it did break out this last sentence into a separate paragraph to keep the idea clean here. Perfect. Okay, so now you can see we have this optimize here. Okay, so we have our list of different terms. We have topics, entities, and keywords. In topics, we have main topics here, and then we have subtopics. Now, a lot of these are a little bit longer phrases and everything just because, they're topics, right? They cover a little bit more information. So you may not always want to use the exact phrasing a lot of times. There are certain topics here that you can use. So competitor analysis, you can go ahead and click copy and then just go ahead and put it in here, and you could see it instantly be counted. And as you add more, your optimization score will increase. But it's not the only factor. We'll get into the optimization score in a minute. But if you're going to be doing that every single time to add in a whole bunch of keywords and try to find where the best locations are and everything, it's going to take a long time, especially if you're going to try to do entities. And you can see a lot of these entities are different brand names from various competitors. You can see some are concepts, some are products, organization types, tools. And then I can see a lot of these are different brand names. So maybe we want to do keywords instead. Maybe there are more keywords that we are missing. So competitor keywords, that's something that we'll probably want to use. Let's go ahead and delete these. I'll show you how to now use the optimize button here. Okay, very cool. This is when you want to add in certain terms into sections of text. Go ahead, select your text, click optimize, and you see these checkboxes now show up. You can go ahead and on the left, you can see how many times these certain keywords are used in your article. And all we need to do is, let's say, click these different checkboxes for the keywords that we want to have. Let's say competitor keywords. Okay, so we have 4 here, and it automatically populates this input field so that all you need to do now is click go. And what will happen is it'll automatically give you a response with those 4 keywords enabled. Oh, you can't, let's say, okay, we have 3 paragraphs still. Let's see, content plan. Let's go ahead and accept it and see, okay, content plan is here. We can see that here is the content plan, long tail keywords, content mapping, competitor keywords is up here. Okay, so it naturally fit in all those terms. So it's really easy to use, and you're able to see these keywords and basically say, okay, I like this keyword, I need it. Where in this outline on the left here should I put it? Where should I add the keyword? Add the entity, add a topic. Now that you have the optimized tool, now that's the AI writing assistant. Lots of flexibility here, really easy to use. Let's take a look at the optimizer now. We have a new tab up here. Here is the original settings, and then here is the new optimizer. So we have our optimization score. The 75 comes from the article draft. You can see the optimization scores are already in the green, and that's because our content briefs are so optimized already. We're doing optimization before we even get to this stage. A lot of tools give you the optimization stuff after the article is already written, but that's because they don't do the detailed work and the research during the content brief phase. So because we do a lot of that, we're already ahead of all the other competitors. So let's go ahead. We can click this bar over here to see our competitors that we had selected during the content brief phase, and then the AI sources that we also wanted. AI overview is automatically included if it's present in the SERPs. Then we have AI mode and ChatGPT. If you ever want to see their content and summaries of their content, what the article is about, what they wrote, discussed, you can see the summaries, and then you can see key claims. These are many of the key points that were made in the article, and these are also key points that our agents take a look at and say, okay, this is really important and really relevant to our article. So let's make sure we include it for parity. And then we have the list of certain facts and information that we should have in our article. From there, the agents also look at the gaps from all these competitors and from the AI sources as well and say, okay, no one talked about this or no one talked about that, and they're really relevant to our topic on hand. So this is where the information gain comes in. And that's a big part of what our agents are doing to ensure that there's parity amongst your competitors and the AI search responses. And then on top of that, we have to add in unique information that no one else has. And that's our key differentiator. We're providing the information gain right off the bat in the brief before anything is written. Okay, so here you can also see the AI mode and then the ChatGPT as well. Of course, you can see the full content of the article. All right, so let's go ahead and close this pop-up. So we have view sources and then we have the coverage. And this shows you how you compare to the AI sources and all the competitors. Okay, let's take a look at our article. What do we have currently? We have all these terms that are being used, and then we could see how the competitors are comparing to us. And then we could also see the AI responses. Now, the AI responses are a lot shorter than our competitor content and our content, right? So our numbers and competitor numbers will obviously be a lot higher. Now, down here, we also have our optimization scores. Okay, you can see our 75%, and then the highest for any of the others is 50%. We can see a grade on their heading structures. You can see that the Tailor Edge needs work. So they have poor header structure. AI chunkability, Tailor Edge has a good structure for AI search. Okay, the others are good. The reading ease, we are fair. 3 of them need work. Another one is fair. 2 are good. Let's close this. Let's take a look here. We can collapse this a little bit so we can see more of the terms and everything. We also have another tab next to the terms where we have issues. And this is where those other scores came in. So our heading structure, we're good with 23 headings, no heading issues. AI chunkability, content is well formatted for AI readability. And our reading ease, right? So the content reads at a higher grade level than target. The target is from our content brief by analyzing all the competitors, which makes sense because some were good, some needed work, and 10th is about average, right in there in the middle. So how we can improve on ours is using shorter sentences, simplifying the dense passages, great use of the simplify option in the AI writing assistant, and then using simpler vocabulary. There is a note here. If you are writing for a technical audience, a higher grade level can be appropriate. It makes sense because we're talking about SERP gap analysis here, and there's going to be a lot of technical information, and so it makes sense that this is at a higher grade level. But because our competitors, we do have a couple that are good, we may want to take a look at Brafton and Stellar content to see how they presented the information, right? Maybe they're only presenting basic information, whereas we're getting more into the advanced stuff. And that could be true because of our information gain. They're covering the basics and we're going a little bit deeper. So that is the optimizer. It uses over 100 signals in real time to calculate this optimization score. And let's get into terms here. There's a lot of information here in the terms. So we have the R, which is a relevance score. It uses vector embeddings to compare the article's goals, the competitor content, to see how relevant this term is to our article and what we want to achieve with it. So anything over 80 is pretty important. You can see a lot of these 70s are still in the high 70s. They're still pretty important, right? When we're talking about SERP gap analysis, SERP analysis and features, that's a pretty important thing that we should probably look to add in. And maybe it doesn't have to be this exact phrasing, but we've already added SERP analysis and we talked about SERP features in different parts of the article already. So in this case, we have an X here. We can say, okay, we've already done it. We can hide this term from optimization because we don't want to have it affect our score. So if we X out a lot of these things, our optimization score will increase. Let me do that here. And you can see it increased here to 76 from 75. Now you'll see we X'd out 10 different main topics, right? Why didn't the optimization score increase a whole lot more? That's because the optimization score is not just based on the number of terms that you've used or how many times you've used it. It's a weighted factor on relevance. It takes into consideration the relevance scores, how important it is to your article and the goals. It takes into account all the issues here, how well you're doing here with headings and AI, chunkability, reading ease, and a whole bunch of other factors. So that's why if you just X out a big list of terms, you don't see the optimization score going up a whole lot. There are some tools where their optimization score is only based on the terms. There's a whole lot more to on-page SEO than just having keywords now, right? Okay, so that's relevance score. Let's take a look at the next label, the S and the AI. The S means that a SERP competitor has used this exact term in their article. Maybe they've used it as a header. You can see one competitor has used it here, and no AI sources have used that exact term. Now here we can sort by source. So we can see the terms sorted by the number of competitors and AI sources that use them. Now, main topics and subtopics, a lot of times you'll get the ones. Once you get into the entities and the keywords, you'll get a higher number. So here we can see 3 different SERP competitors mention the term Google. AI, 1 mentioned it. And then you could see SEMrush, 2 SERP competitors mentioned it, and all 3 AI sources mentioned it. Same with Ahrefs. Okay, so we can see all of that here. And you can see the content gap keyword, same thing. 3 competitors, 2 AI sources. Next, we can sort alphabetically, of course. And if you just want to see all the terms that you've used in your article, you can click highlight all, and you can see all the terms here and how you've used them. And you can just clear it. Here we have, you can copy all the terms, you can export it to CSV. And if you did hide any terms and you say, oh, this actually was important, you can just go ahead and click the restore button. Or if you want them all back, just click restore all, and they're all back in here in your list. And that is the update. You now have inline AI edits with the writing assistant. You have preview and control, and you have a real-time optimizer that benchmarks your content against competitors and AI search sources. Go ahead and try it on one page today. Start with your next article and push it over that line. Optimize it, use AI to improve certain areas, and then get ranked, get cited.